Hello everyone and welcome to this LEGO The Hobbit restricted any percent tournament, the penultimate race we have in this main draw ladder format. Before we go into the playoffs, we have 3 runners today fighting for survival at the moment. The loser of this race will be eliminated from the tournament at one of the last hurdles, at least for the main draw. So we will see who manages to stay up and who will be knocked out of the tournament at this particular point. It looks like all the runners are ready to go. They're all on the title screen. So yeah, if they could all get to the point where they can skip the cutscene, we can get things started. But yeah, this should be a very interesting race. I'm looking forward to seeing how these runners will perform. Obviously, Mega will be the favourite going in, being the number 5th seed, having a very unfortunate Rung 1 match last week to move down to here. Origin and Mugen taking advantage of Loyalist dropping out the tournament to get to this point, but we'll see if they can push themselves any further. It looks like Origin's got the bad title screen, so we'll wait for just a second. I think we'll probably be good to go now, so I'll count them down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, runners. So before the runners fully, get started on our screen, there'll be a bit of a delay, and then they will get going. So hopefully not too long of a delay. Looks like yeah, they're just about to get going. And there we go.
Our king asks you to go and oversee
Yeah, this should be a very interesting race. So, main things we have to note here while they're heading through this first level is very optimization heavy. There are 2 1-tries which are very important for the runners to be able to hit. We'll see them in Gem Skip, which is coming up in about a minute, and then Barrier Skip, which is about 3 minutes into this level. Very important 1-tries to be able to hit, but before that, we're going to see a lot of micro-optimization. And in theory, Mega should be the one who has stronger micro-optimization here. I mean, we could see even in the start, obviously started a little bit further ahead of Origin, but has still managed to pull out a decent lead just, coming down these stairs in very simple movement. And this is kind of a pattern I expect to be repeated. Mega is, of course, a very strong runner. Mega has taken some of the headlines this week, having gotten a PB of, what was it? It was a 23-28, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, getting down to a 23, taking 3rd place, absolutely phenomenal from Mega. Yeah, 23-28 to take 3rd place, and yeah, it's really been showing a strong, strong form in the tournament. Gets Gem Skip first try as well, which is this 1 try where we double jump over, over this camera pan, which the camera pan trigger, if you hit it, will then close the door at the far end of the room. By double jumping over it and dropping out, we're able to skip it, and that allows us to, just ignore that entire room, which loses about a minute 30, minute 40 if you fail to get it. So yeah, that's really good to see that all 3 of them get it, in fact, and all 3 of them are pretty much synced up at this point, which I wasn't really expecting. I was expecting Mega is still a little bit ahead. But yeah, they're pretty synced up. Origin and Mugen, like I said, benefited from the Loyalist dropping out of the tournament, which was very unfortunate. Did throw the cat amongst the pigeons a bit last week, but it meant both of these 2 make it through this week. Is very nice from them. And we'll see now where they both end up. Obviously, one of them, or one of the three can only survive. I'm expecting Mega to survive unless there's like something major that goes wrong. But between the other two, it's going to be very interesting. The head-to-head last week, Origin won both, well, didn't win both matches because Laser blew both of these runners out of the water. But Origin was able to take the wins over Mugen in that race. In both of those races, actually. So it should be interesting. We'll see Mega here going for barrier skip. Another one try where you've got to jump over the kind of barrier collision before the barrier fully forms. And Mega gets it really cleanly, jumping through the barrier as well, not even jumping over. Which is kind of a new development that runners have been doing, and it's just been, you know, so well rewarded. And Mega's so consistent at that now. The Mugen going for barrier skip as well, gets it, very nice. And Origin gets it cleanly as well. So 3 for 3 on all the one tries so far, which is always a good sign. It looks like Mugen taking a death on barrier will allow Origin to, you know, be a little bit ahead of Mugen. As we go into the gold room. Gold room is again another interesting room. I'm not sure what strat Mega goes for, but there is a new strat here which Mega can go for. By the looks of it, Mega's going for a vertical buddy up. And we'll be going for one player. Buffer jumps across what this gold, which should kill you. But by doing these buffer jumps, you're able to just make it all the way across. And yeah, complete the section. There is a slightly faster method, saving about 1.5 seconds, that you can do. Which is to do the buffer jumps, but do them only with one player. And I think we're going to see Mugen go for that now. Going for it with one player. And the way this works is you do need 2 players at the end, but there is a door which you can hit which reloads this final platform with all your characters up there, and by hitting that you're able to make the final bit. And with that, Mugen's able to save a tiny bit of time, and I think Origin had some mistakes in those gold room jumps. So yeah, Mugen is looking at putting together a pretty solid Greatest Kingdom. I think this might be sub 6 for Mugen, which is fantastic. Origin probably a little bit more. Mega with a 526 is fantastic in tournament play though. I'm not sure what Mega's gold is, but it's not going to be too far off that. Yeah, Mugen with a 553. By the looks of it, we'll see what Origin leaves with. But really, really positive so far. Next trick on the menu is bush launch. We'll see Mega go for that here. Gets a good launch out of bounds. That can be quite an inconsistent launch, but Mega manages it okay. Slides down the rock a lot, but this should be enough to get a 3 hover. Yeah, that's fine. We'll see Mugen go for it as well. And Origin by the looks of it as well. 607. Yeah, 607 Greatest Kingdom is not bad at all. That's definitely not a bad start for Origin. I'm not sure how that compares to Origin's PB, but it won't be too far off. I don't think. But of course we see all of these runners. Yeah, all of these runners get bush launch. I think Mugen's might have been second try, but Origin's and Mega's was first try. As they make their way across this out of bounds section. And this out of bounds section will be going from level 1 to the end of level 13 by hitting an out of bounds door in the overworld, which loads the last room of level 13. It's a very cool, very unique strategy. And it's what allows us to save so much time in this category. It's just barely hittable in bounds, and we save a significant amount of time from it. And we'll see Mega go for it here. We've got to get across this river once and then back across this river on the other side to be able to make it to the place we need to go to. We'll see, yeah, Mega's hovering across this river, and then we'll be doing what's known as sign launch, or SDL, I think people are calling it. Basically, what you've got to do is you build up a state with one character where they can just launch And then you run up against this sign, which forces a disconnect, and that disconnect forces a launch as well. We see Mega gets it not fully clean, but second try is pretty solid. And yeah, hits the trigger as well. And this is what loads level 13 of Looking for Proof. Oh, sorry, the last room of Looking for Proof, which is level 13. But yeah, very nicely done from Mega. Looking solid so far. 824 exit is really good. If Mugen goes for sign launch, goes for it, does he get it? Yes. Nicely done. The Mugen's on for a good run as well right now. Not sure what the pace is.
The disturbance of the tombs of the Nine.
But it's looking solid so far. Yeah, Origin does have the worst PB in this match, 2706, but I'm kind of expecting Origin's definitely the most likely to PB out of the three during one of these races. We'll see if that can happen. Goes for the safer strats across the river, which I don't blame him for. He's not a sign launch enjoyer at the moment. And that's absolutely fair enough. And I hate to jump the gun early here, but we might have a bit of a pacer alert already. Mugen right now, compared to PB, is 40.5 seconds ahead. So, this isn't Mugen's real PB. Just seen that. This is a 26.35. Mugen's real PB is a 25.18, I believe. So, maybe not a true pacer from Mugen, but still a very solid run so far. Origin is actually on true PB pace though, by 38 seconds at present. We see Mega going for Birdless, which is the next big strat in this run, big one try. Where basically you're building up speed, downward speed with Gandalf by using a specific bit of collision. Then you've got to wait about 14 seconds for that speed to build up, and then you finally hit Gandalf, break the object, and Gandalf's speed reflects off the floor and goes up over the trigger, and you skip that entire room. That saves like a minute or so over playing the room casually. But all the runners will be going for it. We'll see Mugen going for it as well. It just saves that much time, it's just worth it. And Mega struggled a little bit with the 1P2C, but should be okay. Mugen will be setting up for Birdless now. And gets the setup. Yep, that's looking good for Mugen. We'll see if Origin can do the same. Looking at how these runners play, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Because Mega I'm expecting to play like pretty strong, pretty close to PB. Mugen has had a tendency of late to half go for strats, pick strats and then not fully commit to them. Which in a tournament setting is very dangerous to do. Like kind of pick a strat and then if it doesn't work out you decide not to go for it. It's a very, very bad mindset to kind of work yourself into. Looks like Origin gets Birdless as well. Okay, so we're 3 for 3 on Birdless. That is fantastic. Origin's gameplay, it'll be safer than both of these other runners. Origin just tends to play that bit safer. But in terms of consistency, I think Origin's probably the most consistent of the three. And especially if Origin's on another pacer right now, that's a very good sign. It looks like he hasn't really done anything to not justify that still being on pace. I might have missed something somewhere along the line, but I don't think so. It's 2 phases behind on the Azog fight, so it might have slipped back some time. Or maybe it's just stream delay. Not entirely sure. Mega in the Necromancer fight. Very straightforward fight at high level, but there is some optimizations that Mega will be looking at going for. These are ending the level with 0 studs, which is quite a common thing in all the runs, or in the middle 3 levels. Ending the level with 0 studs on both characters will mean that you skip about 3 to 4 seconds of the status screen. And we'll see Mega go for that here. Gonna have to take a lot of deaths with Radagast, but very few with Gandalf. The other thing is looking at how quickly you can build with the statues to end each phase, and then how quickly you can shoot at those statues. The rest of this boss is very scripted, but those bits definitely have room for optimizations. That can be a lot of time that you just don't expect to gain or lose versus others. And it looks like Mega's playing it quite safe with the piece building. Got maybe a bit lucky on the landings there, I'm not entirely sure. And gets a relatively quick attack as well, so it's looking good for Mega. At least through this level. Currently, you know, +5 to PB, that's as near as makes no difference, nothing in the grand scheme of things of this early game. A lot of the build-up and inconsistencies will come from the last 2 levels on the doorstep and inside information. We'll see how that goes. But I am very interested to see the kind of run that Origin can put together here. Origin is on a big PB pace right now. Does have the worst PB of the 3 here, with the 27.06. Mega with that 27... Oh, sorry, Mega with the 23.28. And Mugen with the 25.18. So Origin's definitely the one with stuff to prove, but I think knowing the consistency of Origin, it's very possible. Mega leaving the Necromancer with a 15-12. Lost 17 seconds to PB in that Necromancer. Something went wrong there, because Mega was on sub 15 pace. I didn't quite catch it. It's obviously like more micro optimizations, but maybe not the best Necromancer. Not as good of a Necromancer as I thought from Mega there. Also struggling with Icicle Launch a little bit. Another big trick. Is that going to make it? No, that doesn't make it. So this is opening the door for the other 2 to catch up. But yeah, what Mega's trying to do is get a buddy up like this. And then you go up onto this top level to be able to get the horse and get a faster line going to the next level. It's not strictly necessary to do this. You don't have to do it. But it is just generally quicker. Saves about 30 seconds or so. And then Mega goes into fast OTD, which is similarly difficult as a level as well. Mega's been trying to find setups for fast on the doorstep. And it hasn't worked out so far. Just because of how brutal this level is. We'll see what Mugen's trying here. Struggles with the switch, eventually gets the launch, so that's not too bad. And yeah, was able to catch up some time in the Necromancer. Pulled up about 10 seconds. Quite surprising, honestly. Mega's still struggling with fast OTD. That's not enough height. And Mugen's going to be right with Mega now. Origin, by the looks of it, had a really bad Necromancer. I didn't spot where things went wrong. But lost a further 30-something seconds to where Mugen was anyway. But gets a quicker Icicle Launch than both of the other 2. And Origin doesn't go for fast on the doorstep. Will be going for the safe strat, I believe. And both of the other 2 are struggling. I think Mugen might finally have got it. No. This is really opening the door up for Origin right now. both of the other two are just struggling so much. Mugen finally gets it and will be in the lead here. But Mega's got about 30 seconds to make this count, or Origin will be second in this race. Looks like Mugen's doing a setup for a different strat for what we call statue launch, but doing it as a disconnect launch, which is similar to the one we saw in sign launch earlier. We'll see if this works for Mugen. Is waiting to switch to player 2 so can get a horizontal buddy up. We see Mega's caught right back up as well, and they're both in a similar kind of pace, but look at that for Mugen. Maintains the lead. Mega gets a quick statue launch, but Mugen just gets it better. We'll see how this spin launch goes. Mega does a different strat here, a kind of different pickup launch. Struggles with it a little bit, and yeah, Mugen's just going to be ahead. Straight up ahead, and Origin's going to be potentially bearing down on Mega here. This is looking like a really solid run being put together by Mugen, I do have to say. Obviously loses on pace to Mega in a lot of on the doorstep. Oh, sorry, in a lot of early game. But has really pulled something back out here. I'm interested to see what Origin's going for here. Origin is certainly going for something. Going for the spin launch strat. Or going for the spin strat, sorry. To get up to this top level. It's a little bit slower, but it is significantly safer. And yeah, we'll see what time Origin gets off of that. Mugen, meanwhile, is on a 25 pace right now. Mega is about plus 2 minutes to PB, so it's about as expected. An 8-second difference between the two is pretty close. In terms of if they play near what their PB has in Inside Info, the advantage is still definitely with Mega. But Mugen might be able to pull off an upset here. And honestly, if something goes really wrong, Origin's only a minute back. That's still very possible to be able to sneak something through, and is still 7 seconds ahead of PB, with a 7:01 inside information to compare against. Origin definitely could pull out a PB here. But I think if I'm Origin right now, worst case scenario is that Mugen wins this race. I think Origin and Mugen kind of have to be looking at each other in terms of how well the other one's doing in order to survive, and then whatever Mega does will happen. So yeah, it's kind of bad news for Origin that Mugen might get 3 points here. Of course, that is a big maybe. There is a decent bit of this room still to go, and it looks like Mega is closing that gap. We'll see from Mega here, and both of them actually, we'll see a camera pan skip attempt. What they've got to do is fall off with Bilbo at the precise time to be able to basically hit a flag with the game that says the camera pan on the lower level has already been watched as well. And then if that's the case, they can just immediately not see the camera pan. And if you're like Mugen there, sometimes get launched, which can be quite annoying when it happens, depending on where you get launched to. But Mugen gets a very clean chandelier skip after the camera pan skip as well. Mega is struggling, but this is where things might happen. Mugen is going for toast slide. I'm not... Oh, Mega's going for it as well. Okay. So toast slide is a very difficult trick. It saves about 10 seconds. But, yeah, if you get it, it looks very cool. It is found by Toast, who is Mega's co-op partner. And, yeah, is a very cool one to get. Mugen's got a good attempt at it here, and just misses it. That's very unfortunate. Mega gave it a couple of attempts and then opted not to go for it. Very sensible decision from Mega, and it's allowed him to pull out a good lead here. We'll see if Mugen can get it here. Yeah, no, still struggling. And just like that, Origin is basically at the same place. They've hit the cutscene at the exact same time, near enough. And all of a sudden, that minute-long lead that Mugen's had has just disappeared through going for one trick that is maybe not worth it in this situation. Like, Mega gave it 3 attempts and gave up. Mugen gave it about 8 or 9 attempts before giving up. If either of them had given up immediately, then that person would be ahead right now. And how's this for synchronization? Origin and Mugen, exact same place in the unskippable cutscene. I think that is near enough to the frame. That is insane synchronization as a result of the mistakes. But yeah, that's good news for Origin. Origin's playing solid right now. Very much in with a shot of PB here. Mega is obviously going to be further ahead as we are in this unskippable cutscene. None of the runners can skip this at the moment, but yeah, we'll see how Mega can do here. I think it's definitely on Mega to close this out. But there's 3 big tricks before we get to the end of this run. And the first of these tricks will be coming up very soon on Mega's side of things. So the first trick is to get out of bounds in this area. We're going to do, or Mega's going to do a pickup launch on the left-hand side here. A little bit slow on the setup. And the hardest part of this is getting the buddy up and then waiting to jump. Gets a buddy up, jumps, and just sneaks over the invisible wall. That's about the lowest height you can get while still getting over the invisible wall. So good job from Mega there. And then we're going for Loz launch as well. Breaks the box, which is technically not mandatory, but does make it easier to do. And gets Loz launch as well. That's looking good for Mega. That's 2 out of 3 on the big tricks. Meanwhile, the other 2 are synced up to the frame near enough. Mugen gets a buddy up first and gets over. Origin doesn't get enough height there. That is unfortunate for Origin. Gets its second try though, so it's still very much in contention while Mugen goes for Loz launch and gets Loz launch as well. But Origin really needs Loz launch to stay in this. They all go for the same strategy of breaking the box, but Origin misses it, and that could be that. For this race. There is still one big trick left. Origin has to get this buddy up quickly though. And gets it second try. Not too bad, but yeah. Mega definitely in the lead and Mugen definitely in second right now. But we have one big trick left, and that is Jack launch. And Jack launch can be incredibly brutal for all of these runners. Jack launch is one of those launches which does have a consistent setup, but sometimes things just go wrong. We'll see Mega's first attempt at it. Moves all the pieces out the way, and then we'll be dropping in player 1 on keyboard. Be able to do the setup. Doesn't quite get the buddy up first try, and might be struggling here a little bit. This might allow Mugen to catch up a little bit. And of course Origin as well on the follow-up as well. Mega does get it, and finishes out the run. $26.07 for Mega. Mugen finishes up as well with a decent Jack launch. Ends up with a 26-26. We'll see how Origin closes this out. Again, is still on PB pace if nothing else. Does the drop in as well. First try buddy up, first try Jack launch. Really nicely done from Origin. And ends up with a 26-58. That is a new PB for Origin. Very nice to see, although it doesn't Doesn't result in anything from this race, unfortunately. It's still a very, very nice PB for Origin to get. So GG's to all runners for that first race. All runners within about 50 seconds is always a good fun run to see, good fun thing to see. And yeah, updating the points for that means that Mega have 3 points, Mugen will have 1 point, and Origin will have 0 points from that first race. Remember, they play 3 races, 3 points for a win, 1 point for second place, and no points for third. But yeah, if all the runners are ready to go again, then clear splits and go back to a point where you can skip the cutscene, the opening cutscene. But yeah, very solid runs all around, in all honesty. A good close race in the end. Ultimately, it was the decision to go for toe slides that separated the top 2 anyway. And Origin, of course, getting the PB is very nice to see. Looks like all the runners are going to be at the point where they're ready. Pretty soon anyway, just checking the Mega is. Looks to be so, in which case we'll count it down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck again, runners. And bit of delay before we start, but we are good to go. But yeah, we have an interesting situation here. I'll be honest, both Mugen and Origin were significantly closer to Mega than I was expecting. I was really expecting Mega to just be absolutely run away with it, but there were some really strange time losses in the Necromancer, which I didn't quite spot, and also in inside info and on the doorstep was a big one as well. It was a really good first half of the run from Mega, but the second half of the run just did not go well. And by the looks of it, both Mega and Mugen had some problems in the first half of that first room, and Origin is leading coming down the stairs this time, and will probably be leading going into Gem Skip as well. I didn't catch what happened for Mega there, or Mugen. I think for both of them. I think for Mega anyway, he didn't hit the stone, and didn't switch the character, which is quite a weird mistake. That's a mistake that kind of tells of nerves more than anything, which is something I wasn't necessarily expecting from Mega, but it is the way it is, right? But yeah, for this race, Mega, I mean, kind of the threshold is to get 4 points. If you get above 4 points, most likely you're going to be through, but Origin misses Gem Skip. This is devastating. This is incredibly bad for Origin. Struggled with the first attempt, and the second attempt just went too far over the line and couldn't do Gem Skip. The real question is for Origin now, does he know how to play this room casually? I believe he has played this room casually before, but there's still a lot you need to do. He's certainly doing the right things, breaking the boxes to get the gems, and then we'll be doing this crank to be able to get this final set of gems. Moving to here as well to put the items in. So yeah, he's doing the right things. But that is such a time loss to see. And for the person with the worst PB in, you know, this set of races, that's a really unfortunate one to lose. Basically now he's got to be counting on mistakes from the other two. And not small mistakes either. We're talking missing birdless or breaking a box on Jack launch. Those kind of things. On the flip side though, the good news is Origin's backing this up well. Like, this is a smooth backup from Origin. We've definitely seen worse attempts at trying to play this level, or trying to play this room as a backup. So yeah, kudos to Origin for, you know, knowing how to play this relatively well. That is good to see. Looks like Mega got barrier skip as well. Mugen going for it now. And does get it. So nice, we have two runners hitting all the tricks, and we have Origin unfortunately missing that gem skip, but hopefully that'll be the only trick he misses. If that's the case, he's certainly not out of it, but right now he's got to play kind of no miss gameplay, like no mistakes, if he wants a way back into this match. The one thing Origin can take solace in is both runners had a lot of struggles on the doorstep. Struggling to get fast OTD. If that repeats itself, or even, you know, exacerbates, gets worse, then Origin's still very much in with a shot, doing those safe strats. But it looks like Mega is coming out with a really clean Greatest Kingdom. Mugen may be similar. Obviously falls a bit behind, but the gap looks to be closer between the two of them than last time. So I think that's a good sign for Mugen, rather than anything Mega's done wrong. Origin meanwhile going for barrier skip. And just sneaks over. I'll be honest, I was not confident in that working at all for Origin, but manages to make it stick, and yeah, that's good news for Origin. Mega with a 542 this time, Mugen with a 557, so both slower than previous. I think a lot of that was Room 1, in all honesty, for both runners. Mega being about, I want to say 16 seconds slower than last run, and Mugen being 4 seconds slower. Origin, of course, will be a lot further back, but Mega does get bush launch, and Mugen struggles with it a little bit. Not second try. That is really unfortunate for Mugen. That was like the highest possible height that will fail. Really struggling with this. I mean, this is the kind of time losses that Origin needs to get back in. But Mugen has got a... There we go. Yeah, 5th, 6th try bush launch. Not good for Mugen. I mean, yeah, basically, best case scenario in this situation for Mugen is to win the race outright. If Mugen could beat both Mega and Origin in this race, Mugen has 4 points, and probably, potentially, will not have to worry about fighting for that final... Oh, yeah, will probably most likely not have to worry about a tie-break scenario where they all end up on 4 points. That would be ideal for Mugen. For Mega, Mega just needs a point of some kind, either first or second, but obviously a win for Mega would be guaranteed, safe from elimination, and of course, will be very good for, well, my predictions anyway. I predicted Mega getting 9 points from this race, or from this match. But yeah, Origin's got some work to do here. I think if I'm Origin in this situation, I need to get a point. Like 2 minutes behind out of
Gandalf and Radagast stood
out of
before
Greatest
the
Kingdom is very bad, but you got to be praying. Probably specifically Mugen makes some mistakes and ends up dropping back. Obviously the bush launch wasn't good for Mugen, but there's got to be more that's added to it. Origin gets the first try bush launch, which is fantastic. And yeah, we'll definitely be closing that gap to Mugen. That's a very low hover. Yeah, that's not going to work. We'll have to re-buddy up and go again.
The disturbance of the tombs of the Nine confirmed that
Yeah, this isn't a must get a point for Origin, because if Mega wins this one, then Origin has to win the final race against both of these in order to be able to stay safe from survival, or stay in the competition. And even then, that could come down to a tiebreaker where both Origin and Mugen end up with 3 points apiece. Which would be very interesting if that happens. We haven't had a tiebreaker like that before. And of course, if at any point the points are tied, then the nod goes to the person who has the fastest individual time in any of these races. Which, at the moment, is obviously Mega with that 26:07, I think it was. And then Mugen with that 26:30 something. And then Origin with the 26:58. Which, of course, is a new PB for him. I will see Mega go for Birdless here. Gets a drop down, very nice. You kind of think Origin almost needs Mugen to mess up Birdless here. Kind of an unfortunate thing for, you know, you to be preying on another contestant's downfall, but that's kind of the situation Origin's in right now. But we'll see what Mugen can do here. Mega gets it. Mugen struggling to get up the collision. Gets over though, and then gets the spot. The positive sign for Mugen, as long as he waits long enough now, then he should be fine for this trick. Origin, meanwhile, is just finishing off, looking for proof. Is that going to work as a respawn? No, it doesn't. Just falls down at the wrong part. That'll work. I'm not sure if Origin got a better looking for proof than Mugen. Obviously does safer strats. And it looks like that's come back to bite him a little bit. End up 2:22 behind, so loses another 20 seconds at looking for proof. I think Mugen's on a good pace again, though. Yeah, it's pretty much even to the time in his previous run. About 4 seconds behind, but has maintained that 4 seconds through looking for proof, even with the 5th or 6th try bush launch. But yeah, Mega has definitely stretched out a good lead here, which is always, you know, it's good to have close races, but when you have runners who have that spread of PBs, it's also good to see, you know, phenomenal, or be able to see that the runners with the best PBs performing near their PB paces. I mean, Mega is about, I mean, even so, Mega's 40 seconds behind PB right now. Lost a lot in the looking for proof as well. I didn't catch where. But yeah, not the best run right now for Mega, but that's the way it goes sometimes. We'll hopefully be able to you know, pick it back up, get a decent time. Origin unfortunately misses the first attempt at setting up birdless. Just tries to jump too close to the tries to jump too close to the pillar and then gets stuck as well. Is this gonna work? Manages to find an angle and a pixel to get it to work, but yeah, very shaky from Origin. It will still work though. I'm surprised that waited enough time. But yeah, not too bad. Yeah, Origin in the Necromancer, in the Azog boss fight, as the others are in the Sauron boss fight. Obviously, in this Sauron fight, as the same as in the first race, the main endeavor here is to try and get down to 0 studs with both characters and end the level with 0 studs, because it saves 3 seconds on the status screen. Both Mega and Mugen are at that point, although right now Mugen's kind of half a cycle behind, I'd say, so about 30 seconds, maybe a little bit more, which is pretty much maintained from the deficit after looking for proof. Given how on the doorstep went for Mega last run, you know, it's still very possible that, you know, Mugen's in this race to win it. I'd be interested to see if Mega goes for it, because Mega can probably do the safe strats right now and still be ahead. Just barely. I wouldn't, you know, fancy it too much, but it depends what Mega's feeling. There is a large argument here to just say stick to your guns and just do what works. But yeah, as Mega finishes off looking for proof, Mugen will be just completing this third phase here. Origin will be just entering the fight. Let's see this icicle launch from Mega. This was also a struggle for Mega last run. We'll see, struggling a little bit for the angle, gets his second try, and yeah, that's a safe second try, makes it up there. So that's already an improvement from the last on the doorstep, but the main time loss was just in the level itself. Just this very first launch that you've got to do. Mega struggled with it last time. See if Mugen can match Mega with icicle launch. This is the first try. Meanwhile, Mega gets fast OTD. No, doesn't get it. Falls down. That is unfortunate. I thought Mega had it there. But once again, the Gremlins resurface. Gets a comfortable second try, though. Despite the switching and stuff. That could have gone a lot worse for Mega. Second try is, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's not too bad. I think Mega will take that, given the probably shock at how much he struggled last run. Mugen gets a... I thought that was a clean first try. Not quite. Doesn't quite get the height to make it over the final kill plane. Definitely won't that time. And will we see things snowballing for Mugen? That didn't work? Wow. That looked like on my screen that was more than enough height. Mega also struggling with statue launch at the same time. Gets it eventually, and we'll be pulling out a lead here. mean, yeah, Origin's, you know, Mugen has the time to be able to play the safe strats, but might just stick to his guns here, which I don't dislike in this situation. You know, it's definitely the strat Mugen's most comfortable with. But yeah, having a load of inconsistency, not a good sign. It looks like he's almost turning too early before getting it. Is yeah, not ideal. Not ideal at all. That one work? No. Wow. I think he's getting pretty unlucky with the height here too. But all of a sudden, Origin's like not back in contention, but not overwhelmingly far away now.
The last light of
I mean, Origin will be going for the safe strats, so even if Origin gets to the same point that Mugen is, Mugen still has another 30 seconds to be able to pull out the lead. But Origin's finishing
company passed into the mountain.
on the doorstep
Door.
pretty soon. And Mugen keeps hitting, just keeps hitting this death plane, and I have no idea what will prevent it. I think it's just the Barlin position, in all honesty. Like, too far up the rock. You want to be kind of in the bottom, nearer the bottom left corner. Yeah, eventually bails and goes for the safe strats. Smart decision, because Origin gets Icicle Launch first try and will be breathing down Mugen's neck. That deficit has been absolutely shattered. Mugen's struggling with the hovers as well. This is really not going well. And all of a sudden, Origin has a chance to salvage a point from this race. Mega, meanwhile, is comfortably ahead. I don't think there's... Even if Mega has to do the final run casually, breaks a box on Jack Launch, I think Mega has enough of a lead that that's not going to be a problem. But yeah, look at this now. Origin's gone from being plus 3 minutes out of the Necromancer to being maybe 20 seconds behind, if that. The deficit has been absolutely demolished. And yeah, I don't know if Mugen was going for the camera pan skip, misses it. I know Origin will be going for it, and look at that, they are level. In fact, Origin's even ahead visually on our screens. They both get the skip here. They'll both be doing the exact same things, but out of nowhere, just one trick has been the difference, and all of a sudden, Origin's right back in it. And maybe even ahead. We'll have to see what the difference is in terms of load removal and stuff. But yeah, in the meantime, Mega kind of has a few attempts to go for Toast Slide. And might as well take a few of them. Gets the slide down. And yeah, nicely done, gets the slide as well. Good job from Mega there. Not that it matters too much. Origin struggles getting up to the top level here. And with that, Mugen's going to be back in the lead, but very slim amount. Unless Origin keeps struggling here.
Tell me, thief, how do you choose to die?
It looks like it's possible. Finally gets the pixel. And yeah, 2139
My claws are spears.
It's yeah, really a real turn. I mean, Origin's still going to be worse. It's still going to be like a 22 exit or something for Origin, but
I was just saying, your reputation precedes you.
That could have gone so differently.
Truly, you have no equal on this earth.
Origin 2206, less than half a minute between them, and we saw Mugen, you know, lose some time going for Toast Slide. See if he chooses to go for it again. If I'm Mugen right now, I am not touching Toast Slide at all. I'm staying as far away from it as possible. Leaves that to Mega when Mega's on PB pace, or if you're close to Mega and you want to try and pull out the small lead. But yeah, I would not be, I'd not be going anywhere near Toast Slide if I was Mega. Oh, sorry, Mugen.
Slug.
Still a lot of level left to go before we get to that point. Mugen is about a layer ahead of where Origin is. We'll be going for statue skip here, and gets it super clean. Fair play to Mugen, that was a fantastic statue skip. Statue skip's one of those ones which it doesn't save too much at all. It saves 20, no, sorry, not even 20. It saves like 2 or 3 seconds to go for it. We'll see Origin not go for it, because that's Origin's strategy. And yeah, it barely loses any time unless you take a death there like that. But even then, getting the movement with the flail, it's not too bad. He's still only a layer behind where Mugen is. Mugen will be going for the camera pan skip here. Mega, meanwhile, who we've kind of ignored, cruising to this the win in this race right here, and safety from this elimination bracket with a very clean Luz launch. I'm not sure, Mega's not on for a world-beating pace at all. But it's still a solid run. Like, it's still going to be potential to be a mid-24 kind of pace, which would be fantastic. For a tournament run, getting a mid-24 is still really solid. That's the kind of paces he needed to get consistently against Jack and Olive in the Rung 1 match that he just couldn't quite manage to do because Jack and Olive were insanely consistent. They just put together some fantastic runs right now. Yeah, Origin's still about a layer behind. Mugen thankfully this time opts not to go for Toast Slide. And Origin's struggling with Chandelier Skip here. Gets its third try, that's okay. But it looks like Mugen will have about a 40-second lead into the unskippable cutscene. Mega going for Jack launch here. Gets the launch. Ah, but bonks. That's unfortunate. We're setting up for it again. Gets its second try. And we'll be finishing up here. Very nice run from Mega. A good bounce back from getting the 26 he had earlier. And yeah, very, very clean kind of almost a cruise to a strong time there, which is about what I at least expected to happen. Yeah, Mega just had... It wasn't anything special as a run, it was just solid. But the other two is where the real cinema is happening right now. Advantage is definitely with Mugen. Gonna have a lead going into the launches, but how shaky is Mugen feeling in these last 3 launches today? The first one, the challenge is to get the buddy up. The second one, the challenge is to get the height and time the jump correctly so that you get the height to go up to the upper level. And the third one, everything's the challenge. So we'll see how Mugen goes with these. But yeah, GG's to Mega. Very, very solid, composed, put together run. Mugen struggling with the buddy up, gets it third try, but not enough height. This is a carbon copy of what Origin had in the first race today. See if he's able to get it again, but Origin's going to be bearing down on him now. He's just got a few seconds left in this cutscene. Mugen gets it eventually. Breaks the box. And Mugen gets Luz launch. That's really big for Mugen. That could have sealed it because Origin struggled with Luz launch last time. You kind of feel like this is a must make for Origin right now to be able to stay in contention here. Breaks the box, gets it, and gets the launch as well. This is something he missed in that earlier run in that PB. So Origin's still there. If Mugen makes a mistake on Jack launch or struggles to get it, Origin is right there to take advantage. And Origin kind of needs this point. Because without this point, Origin is relying on a win in the final race to be able to survive from this rung. Yeah, Mugen going into the torches now. And then we'll be going into Jack launch. Origin just a little bit behind. I feel like this gap has closed up. Just that little bit more. We'll see how this Jack launch goes from Mugen. Breaks the right box, that's a good sign. And then goes for the buddy up with pieces in the way. And just misses it. That was so close. Doesn't get it that time, and now Origin's in the same room. Origin has the chance. Mugen gets it though. We'll have to see on the final times on the load remover. But Mugen gets final time, and Origin gets it as well. The Mugen ends up with a 28.44, and Origin ends up with a 28.53. That is incredibly close between these two runners. 9 seconds difference in the end between the two of them, but Mugen just able to squeak out that second place, and with that will have a strong advantage going into the final race over Origin. It's not over yet for Origin, but Origin will need the win in order to be able to survive and progress from this round of the tournament. But yeah, very close race. It was Origin missing gem skip that kind of put him at a huge disadvantage, and then Mugen having troubles with Fast on the Doorstep meant that Origin was right back in it. But very strong race from Mega either way. The runners are ready. We can get going for the final race. They can clear their splits and make their way to the cutscene. And while they do that, we can update the points. So with that win, Mega will take 6 points and an unassailable lead from this rung of the tournament. So Mega is absolutely safe and guaranteed progress to the final rung of Ladder League, which will be just in a couple of days' time. It's between Mugen and Origin are the two we're looking at now. Origin has to win, beat both Mega and Mugen in this race in order to stay afloat. Mugen has to get at least, well, if Mugen wins, then it's guaranteed, or Mugen can get 1 point and hope that Origin doesn't get a faster time than Mugen's 26.26 from the first race. That's the, winning scenarios here. Looks like the runners are ready, so we'll count it down in 5. Oh wait. We won't yet. Mega is having controller issues apparently, so needs to restart his game quickly. We'll get that set up. That means we'll have a couple of minutes break. Yeah, controller issues are unfortunately sometimes a part of running this game. I know some people have it, including myself, where keyboard keybinds aren't saved between play sessions. So like if you close the game then reopen it, the keybinds are not saved. There's other stuff that can potentially happen. So yeah, Mega just doing the right thing and restarting the game, and hopefully it'll work fine. Also, remember to turn VSync on if it isn't already. Yep, remembers to do that. And by the looks of it, it's going to be good to go. Yep, looks like we're about ready. So I will count it down then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck again, runners.
My dear Frodo, you asked me once if I had told you everything there was to know about my adventures. It began long ago, in a land far away.
Yeah, once again, a little bit of delay before we get started, but then we should see all runners moving.
My liege, our king
And
asks
indeed we
you to
do.
go and
Good sign.
oversee today's mining operation.
Built deep within the mountain.
So far we've had what ended up being a really close race in that first race. And then we had that second race where the start really went wrong for Origin, but Origin almost got away with it, almost didn't get punished for it. But yeah, that's the way the cards fall sometimes, the way the cookie crumbles. Unfortunate for Origin to have that gem skip miss, because he played the rest of the run really well. I think, assuming he missed 2 or lost 2 minutes from gem skip, the rest of the run was purely on PB pace, like matching the PB he got in the very first run of this match. So Origin is consistent when he doesn't miss gem skip. So mostly consistent, maybe. But yeah, it's a good sign for Origin, but he needs to pull out another consistent run and pray that both Mega and Mugen make mistakes. Like if Mega misses gem skip here, Origin's gotta fancy himself at having a chance. But yeah, there's so many potential stipulations here. We'll see Mega's attempt at gem skip. That looks very late. I was so late on the dropout from Mega, but it does work, and it works for Mugen and it works for Origin as well. So we have a close race, at least so far. It's always nice to see. Mega pulling out a small lead, which is kind of what you'd expect with those kind of micro optimizations you can get from certain parts of, or just certain things, certain parts of the run. But yeah, that's the difference between Mega being at a 23 and Mugen being at a 25 and Origin being at a 26. There are going to be those small differences. But yeah, right now we see Mega just finishing the build as Origin starts it. And Mega will be going down for the mining. We haven't really spoken about the mining mechanic at all during many of the tournament matches. But even on this, there will be some optimizations that Mega will be going for, like trying to get this perfect hit on the final rock. Gets it eventually, a little bit slow, but it'll work out fine. Mugen taking a long time to line up the hits there. Potentially, we'll be losing some ground to Mega for sure. Maybe not to Origin. Because it looks like Origin got hit with some pretty rough RNG there. Not sure what would have been best to play that, but yeah. Just the way it goes sometimes. Mega gets a good barrier skip, Mugen gets a good barrier skip. Hopefully Origin will get the same.
Such wonderful death was dealt that day.
Does get it as well. Nice. 3 for 3 on gem skip, 3 for 3 on barrier skip once again. This is good to see, and I'm interested to see how Mega and Mugen, what their exits will be this time around, because they look closer together than they have been before. At least in places anyway, in this first level. But it's really difficult to tell sometimes whether that means that Mega's on a bad run or Mugen's on a good run, or somewhere in between. And Origin's not too far behind either. I think definitely the target all of these runners will be looking for when you go into next week's match will be the achieving a sub 6 Greatest Kingdom, because that's about the times Dedra was getting in tournament play. Mega's struggling with the role. Well, Mega's in big trouble here, actually. Doesn't know where this trigger is to be able to reload this top platform. Looks like he made a mistake on the skips at some point. Ended up with one person respawned on the middle platform. Decided to jump across, but doesn't know. I think you need to go further left than that and maybe a bit higher up. But yeah, really, really not a good start for Mega here. I mean, the pressure's off. If you're Mega, the pressure's off. You don't need to worry too much about, you know, getting the best run ever here, but stuff like that, it's just annoying more than anything. But it does mean probably about a 40-second deficit to Origin here, and Mugen another 17 seconds up the road. So yeah, it's not a foregone conclusion for sure, and Mega playing catch up would be quite interesting, because I think just ever so slightly, even with stuff that maybe I don't even comment, or it's even difficult to notice in side by sides, Mega just will be able to bring this time back, barring any more major mistakes. But yeah, 57 seconds behind Mugen out of Greatest Kingdom is very bad. Mega's point of view. Mugen, meanwhile, is on a very good Greatest Kingdom in Middle-earth.
That, my dear.
Very strong time. Uh, 5:45 is, well, it's PB pace on these splits that he's comparing to. I'm not sure how they are versus actual splits, but that remains to be seen. Mega gets a really weird bush launch there. I'm not sure what happened there. Both Mugen and Origin got it though, so that yeah, that's a good sign. But yeah, weird shenanigans happening on Mega's screen. Origin also struggling a little bit with the rock collision here, taking not the most optimal line. And yeah, Origin's got to be looking up the road at catching up to Mugen here. Not an easy thing to do, but he's got to do it. And kind of if you're Origin, you're thinking, just need to stay in contention until we get to the final or level 4 on the doorstep, and then Mugen's been showing a decent bit of fragility there. But staying in contention with someone who gets side launch first try as consistently as Mugen does is not easy. Origin, of course, will opt not to go for it. Just hasn't put the time in to look at it. And that's perfectly fair. Origin is a very consistent player, but new strats will sometimes pass him by. Unless they are, you know, just as consistent as everything else he does. Mugen gets a clean looking for proof inside, makes a very good decision to drop out. Otherwise would have been slightly too slow and would have risked the respawn back up to the top. And a sub 9 looking for proof exit is, for Mugen's level, that is fantastic. 854 is, it's a really good time. That was another gold in looking for proof for Mugen. That was the second one so far of this match in looking for proof. Mugen has, yeah, done a fantastic job there. Mega struggling with sign launch and going for the safe strats. And looks to be really low as well. I wouldn't be confident in this if I'm Mega. I think it's fine now. It just looked really low on the set-off. Origin ending with a 941 looking for proof. Again, that's not bad. But Origin's ace, I mean, that's +3 for Origin's first race of this set, first match, which is not too bad at all when you consider things.
Gandalf and Radagast stood before
But yeah, it's a nearly 50-second gap just on some optimizations and not doing tricks like sign launch. And as we're at the more business end of the tournament now, those things catch up to you. As does that rather unfortunate death with both characters there. Mugen struggling a little bit with getting the setup for Birdless. Gets it eventually though.
the disturbance of the tombs of the
And should be firing this off very soon. Nicely gets the launch there. Very nicely done.
The abandoned fortress of Dol Guldur was
Oh, but does fall down on the inside 1P2C. That's not good. That's going to allow Origin to potentially catch up. But Origin did struggle with getting Birdless last time. We'll see if he manages it this time. Yeah, way cleaner this time. This should be good from Origin as long as he waits long enough. The scary thing from Origin's point of view is how close Mega is behind. Mega had what, by his standards, would be a bad looking for proof, and still only lost 3 or 4 seconds compared to Origin. But Origin gets Birdless, goes so far back on the door there, I always think it's going to miss, but he manages to get it. And is at the very least maintaining distance to the Mugen, which is not a bad thing in the situation. If Origin can maintain this distance through the Necromancer. That was cleaner 1P2C than Mugen got. So yeah, if Origin can maintain this distance, you'd think in On the Doorstep, the inconsistencies that Mugen has had will lead to, at the very least, there being a chance, there being a shot for Origin. And that's what he needs at this point. But Mega is getting closer. And if Mugen does have a bad OTD, what's to say that Mega doesn't have a really good OTD, and all of a sudden Origin stays second, but the other two have completely swapped, like first and third. It's a real possibility that can happen. Because Mega theoretically should be far more consistent at On the Doorstep than Mugen. And Mugen has shown that fragility in a couple of the previous matches. We do love a close race, and a lot of this race will be very much focused on Origin and what Origin can do. But you know, the other two have still got to perform, still got to do something. I mean, Mega maybe less so, but Mugen has got to go for something to deny Origin, right? While it's still in Mugen's hands, you might as well try and take advantage of it and you know, do as much as you can to stop Origin taking that spot. But yeah, the thing is, it's not just good enough for Origin to win. If Origin wins, he needs to be... He either needs to win with a 26-26 time or better, or he needs to... he needs to win and Mugen needs to get last, and then Origin will take it. Otherwise, it'll go to Mugen based on the fastest time tiebreaker. But yeah, Mega is that little bit behind, about half a cycle or so. Actually a full cycle compared to Mugen. Due to... in Gold Room, tried to go for the one-player strats, but didn't know where the reload trigger was. Which is a bold thing to try in a tournament. I will say that, but the pressure is off Mega for this one. So it is more understandable. And it looks like, yeah, Origin's still about a cycle behind where Mugen is. Origin finishing the second cycle while Mugen's finishing the third. So Mugen definitely will have the lead, but these launches are where it will be decided. Absolutely. Yeah, 15:47 for Mugen is pretty decent. Could be better, could be worse. It's pretty average run, I think, for Mugen. But we'll see how the icicle launch goes. Misses the first attempt. This could snowball, but looks to reposition pretty quickly and gets it second try. Gets it second try, makes it over. And going into on the doorstep will be in a decent enough position. But lost 2.5 minutes too fast on the doorstep last round. Does he go safe? Doesn't go safe. Goes for the D-pad setup by the looks of it. Difficult position. And we might be in the status quo. Same situation. The Barlin positioning just looks to be a little bit off. And this could snowball once again. I mean, Origin has got to do Icicle Launch. Gets Icicle Launch first try with the one-player version as well. That's super clean from Origin. And Mugen's still struggling on fast on the doorstep. Origin will go safe strats again. For sure, Origin will be going safe strats. And Mugen bails for safe strats as well. Again, I feel like we're seeing a repeat of the previous race. Mega, meanwhile, gets Icicle Launch and will be bearing down on Origin. Has cut the lead to 16 seconds already. And that death from Mugen. Barlin is still hanging on up there. And Barlin is able to make it up. That is one of the luckiest respawns I've seen from any player to be able to land up there. That was impressive for Mugen. But look at how much the gap's cut. It's like 5 seconds, if that. If the same happens again and Mugen misses the camera pan, Origin's going to be in prime position. Not to mention that if Mega gets this fast OTD, doesn't quite, but if Mega got that fast OTD, they'd all be in the same place. Origin misses the camera pan. And Mugen will be going for statue launch here. This is interesting. Mugen showing 3 different ways to be able to do the strat, but breaks the buddy up. And this is very risky for Mugen. Because if this doesn't work, could be in trouble. Just drops the player and then immediately just surrendered the time loss. And all of a sudden, Origin's in first place. Mugen is still in second, and Mega is catching up to the both of them. Origin's gotta get a good last room here. Struggled with it in the last match. Or last race, sorry. Gets it. Hopefully, we'll get the hovers up to the top. And does so. Won't be going for 0 studs. But Mugen with the spin launch has been able to take the lead back. And this is so close between the pair of them. This is too close to call right now. Mega is slipping further back due to struggling with statue launch a bit. Gets absolutely nothing on that statue launch, which is honestly impressive. I think that's due to the disconnect state or something. But look at that difference. 5 seconds from a minute. And once again, it's OTD that strikes again for Mugen. Mega appears to be having an interesting time with that launch. Actually goes behind the transition, which I haven't seen before, at least in Restricted. But did confirm VSync was on before starting the match, so not too bad. But yeah, we're going to see, again it comes down to this inside information. This is a repeat of game 1 between these two. This is a repeat of game 2 between these two. But with Mega being a minute adrift, this is the one that's on the line. This is kind of almost winner takes all, and Origin taking a death there is incredibly bad, and that's going to hand the advantage to Mugen. Not to mention, Origin is on PB pace, 23.49 ahead of PB. But if Origin wins and Mugen comes second, he needs to be 32 ahead of PB in order to be able to tie it.
The company passed into the mountain through the secret door.
I did not come to steal from you. Oh, Smaug, the unaccessibly wealthy.
This, yeah, this could be so close. I mean, they're on the same floor. Mugen is like fractions of, you know, fractions of time ahead. Going for the camera pan skip now. Looks to have got it. If I'm Mugen here, I'm not going to try and immediately hit the axe plate. I'm going to wait a tiny amount of time to be able to force the launch.
Your enormity, oh Smaug, the stupendous.
Do you think flattery will keep you alive?
No, no.
No, indeed. You seem familiar.
Yeah, Laser is right in chat. If Origin gets sub 7 and wins, he takes second in this match, which would be absolute cinema. But either way, this is going to come down to the wire. I mean, look at how close they are. This is probably the big flaw. Oh no, neither of them went for Toast Slide, never mind. But into the unskippable cutscene, it's likely going to be pretty similar. We'll see, yeah, Origin goes for the spin here, gets a bit caught up on Bilbo, and yeah, that 5-second lead is just basically the same at this point.
Now that is interesting.
It doesn't seem to have changed at all. Mega's not entirely out of this, although I suspect Mega will be going for Toast Slide because it's Mega. Mega sometimes feels a little bit of pressure to do Toast Slide given that he found the trick, but that doesn't always need to be the case.
Where are they hiding?
No dwarves here. You've got that all wrong.
But yeah, the time Origin needs to be is 26-26 with a win. That is the time we're looking for. Or Mega overtakes Mugen. But Origin first off has to beat Mugen, well, which is looking close. It's looking close.
Our little game ends here.
3 points for the win, and Origin is going to need all 3 of those points. Both runners have been pretty strong on the on these final 3 launches we have coming up. Both of them look pretty solid. Origin failed Loz launch in the second match, got it in... Oh, sorry, failed Loz launch in the first match, got it in the second match though. Mugen had a bit of struggle with the first launch in this second match, but got it fine in the first match. This is going to be coming down to the wire.
The Black Arrow found its mark.
What did you say?
I was just saying, your reputation precedes you.
Mugen gets the first launch, first try. That was fantastic. Origin struggling a little bit more, gets the buddy up, gets its second try. Mugen now breaking the boxes for Loz launch. Doesn't get the buddy up first try. Gets its second try, gets the jump, gets Loz launch. Origin's going to be just behind, gets the buddy up, gets Loz launch as well. I think that's... Oh, Origin falling down. But still up there, and is just going to be in contention. But it's advantage Mugen, probably pulled out another 5 seconds of a lead or so.
To see you so easily outwitted. You have grown slow and fat in your dotage.
This is incredibly close right now as they go into the 1P2C. I expect Mugen to be a little bit stronger at this 1P2C than Origin. Just from what I've seen of them before. And yeah, it's going to be, I want to say about 10-15 seconds on Jack launch. And yeah, we'll see how Mugen goes into Jack launch. I mean, this is what it comes down to, right? Origin needs to get the time, but also needs to get the win. Mugen gets a vertical buddy up there somehow. I have no idea how that happened. Struggling to clear the debris a bit as well. That is unfortunate. So, a little bit iffy there. Origin just isn't getting the right buddy up. Not at all, neither is Mugen. They're both stuck on this. Mugen gets it. Origin is 1 level too low. And Mugen finishes. Origin gets Jack launch as well. But it might not quite be enough. We'll see on the final times. As Mega is going to be entering Jack launch pretty soon as well. And there we have it. Mugen with a 26-27. And Origin with that 26-39 picks up a point, but it's not quite enough. It's a PB. It's a 17-second PB. But it's just not quite over the line for Origin. And we'll see Mega come round to finish this match off with hopefully a pretty decent Jack launch. We'll drop in on keyboard and we'll round this off. That was insanely close between those two runners. I knew this one would be a battle between them, but I didn't expect it to end with 3 matches that close between the pair of them. Mega gets Jack launch as well and puts in a pretty respectable time, although, you know, probably not a time that could be taken through into the final rung, but still solid, still very solid from all the runners. But yeah, that was ridiculously close towards the end. Great performances from all runners. Origin with 2 PBs in this match, but it still wasn't quite enough to get over the line. A little bit of frailty with Jack launch. If Jack launch had gone first try, that would have been Origin's race and Origin surviving in the tournament. But alas, it does not happen. Instead, what we end up with on the points for the end of this match is we end up with Mega finishing with the 6 points, Mugen with that win taking 5 points, and Origin taking 1 point to round off the final scores. Absolutely fantastic races, despite everything that, you know, happened with the missing gem skips and the various mistakes that all three of these runners will agree that they had at certain points during this run. We got 3 incredibly close races, so huge GGs to all the runners for being parts of this. Absolute cinema, as they say. But yeah, that is it for today's match. However, we will be seeing very soon the conclusion of the main ladder bracket before we go through to the top 8. And this will have the top 2, or the 2 survivors from this race, which are Mega and Mugen, and they will be facing Dedra for that final spot. There are 2 spaces left in the top 8 for the ladder. Mega, obviously, will be the favourite once again going into that, but Mugen has shown the potential to be able to take those paces, and Dedra is going to be hot on their heels after Dedra losing in Rung 1 this week. Will be out for a bit of blood between the rest of these runners, and I have no idea how to call this match. This is going to be an incredibly close match, and I'm really looking forward to this. We have a approximate date in the diary for when that'll happen. It'll be happening on Monday at 1 PM Eastern. Not fully confirmed yet, however, we will confirm that very quickly, or very soon, and we will post the event in the LEGO Speedruns Tournament Discord. So those are the list of Discords. If you want to join the LEGO Speedrunning Tournaments Discord, that is linked there. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, everyone. And yeah, we will be back hopefully on Monday. See you guys then.